If you're someone who has painful periods, you need to watch this video. I was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2017. My pain levels have reduced by 80%. I mean, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, endometriosis can be so draining, right? People don't know about endometriosis, and suddenly it seems like that no one can really understand you. This is the last thing that I got done, and oh my god, it is so important. So if you are someone who has very painful periods, please do not ignore it. Please do not think of it as being normal. Please get yourself checked. Hi guys, I'm Shivani Trehan and I work as a content creator, blogger or influencer, whatever you like to call it or whatever you understand it as. My channel is called Social Cravings and I'm there on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. I was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2017. I already have a video on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram where I've spoken about how I got to know that I have endometriosis. I'll link that video here. So if you like, you can watch that video. In this video, I'm going to be taking off from where we left off in the last video. And I will be talking about everything that I'm currently doing. So it's going to be super informative and I really request you to stick with me till the end of the video. So most of 2017 and 2019 I was on medications like Ulipristal, Endoreg, and these were prescribed to me by my gynecologist. Please do not have them yourself. And they are to be taken for some months and then you have to give a gap for some months, you know, something like that. And this prevented my period from coming at all. While I was on medication, you know, these couple of years, I was not feeling better. I would be fine when I was on the medication, but when I was off the medication in the interim period and every time I would have my period, I would be in such tremendous pain. I was not better at all and my flow was still very heavy with very heavy blood clots and all of that. In fact, I think I was becoming worse. My ultrasound report was a proof of that because my cysts had become bigger, my fibroids had grown, my symptoms were at its worst. And the last round I had with my gynecologist, eventually she told me, when I told her that I'm not feeling better, I was told that I need to get a surgery done. And that's like the only solution. And also, every time I would visit my gynecologist, they would ask me, you know, what are my plans of getting married? What are my plans of having a child? Because, you know, having a child puts you in a state of menopause. So they were very keen to know about my relationship status. And, you know, that would solve my entire endometriosis problem. But that's not true. And I know this because I know so many women who are married, who have children and are still living with endometriosis. So this was in 2019 when I was ultimately told that okay, you need surgery and that's the only solution for it. And I believed it. And I went on looking, obviously consulting other gynecologists as well, taking opinions from other gynecologists, and they all said the same thing. And then I also visited some laparoscopic surgeons and I was literally on the verge of deciding my surgeon. But somewhere I was not convinced. I was not convinced about surgery. Maybe I was just afraid of it. And you know, I had already started reading so much about women who have endometriosis and who get a surgery done and how it still doesn't leave your body. In fact, it comes back even in a bigger way, and you have something called adhesions, and you know, you have more complications because you've got surgeries done. And you know, it's a never-ending process. In fact, when I connected with women who had got a surgery done, they had ended up getting somewhere around 3 to 4 surgeries, some even 5 and some even 7 surgeries. So I was like, where does this end. Like, there is no end to all of this. So I was not convinced with getting a surgery done for my endometriosis. No doctor in all of this was giving me a definitive answer. The one I would like to hear, that you would be okay and I can cure you forever. you know. And I also then remember going down paths that I normally wouldn't. Went to a healer. Like I said, I normally wouldn't do such things, but I was so desperate just to find a solution. And there's a huge line of believers and worshippers. I just had 30 seconds with him, and I quickly asked him that should I go for medication or should I go for a surgery? And he's like, none. And I had to walk out with no answer. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, do nothing? Like, what is he talking about? It took me so many years to understand what that meant. Nothing. Do none of those. Neither medication nor surgery. Guys, I'm not asking you to go to a healer. Not at all. I mean, I wouldn't do it I wouldn't do it now. Like I said, I was in a very desperate state just to get some answers, and I did not even pay attention to what he said that time. I'm just saying it's just one of the things that happened, and how it's resonated with me today. Because I did nothing. I did neither. I stopped taking medications and I decided not to get a surgery done. And why I decided was because while researching which surgeon I want to go with, or what sort of treatment I want to go for, my mother came across this website called Heal Endometriosis Naturally by Wendy Laidlaw, and that changed everything for me. So I went through Wendy's blog, and she has also written a book called How to Heal Endometriosis Naturally. Now she has even come out with a second version called How I Ended My Endometriosis Naturally. So anyways, at that time, I quickly ordered her book and I went through her blog. The book took some time to arrive. I think it took almost a month or two, if I'm not wrong. But by that time, just with all the information that was given on her blog, and by talking to other women who told me how surgeries have not helped them at all, I made a decision of going the natural way. Sometimes I still get shocked that so many women across the world, millions of women, are suffering from endometriosis, and yet there is absolutely no cure to this disease. And therefore, I am committed to spread awareness on endometriosis in whatever way possible. I soon realized that this is going to be the biggest challenge of my life, and I will have to make several lifestyle changes. So you can say that I started my natural journey towards the end of 2019. That's when I decided to go gluten-free. But I started a couple of other things only in the beginning of 2020, and then March the lockdown happened and everything was at a standstill for, well, all of us. And in the middle of 2020, my dad was diagnosed with COVID, which was in June 2020. Most of you who are following me on Social Cravings already know about that. That was one of the most stressful times in my entire life. I don't think I've ever been so stressed. And obviously all that stress did not do any good to me. In the subsequent months, my periods were very, very painful. So much so that one of the months I had to be taken to the hospital because even the painkillers were not helping me. Now coming to the main point, which is what I'm here to discuss, is what all I'm currently doing to heal myself naturally of endometriosis. But before we begin, it's really important to understand the why of things. And for that reason, I would like to recommend 2 books to you. Please go through these books. They have tons and tons of information. In fact, I started making notes in a separate diary while reading these books, and I keep going back to them time and again. And they will reinforce all the points that I'm going to be talking about. Know that women with endo always know more than the doctors. See, I'm not blaming doctors for recommending medicines and surgeries because that's their job, right? They've been trained to do that for so many years. When you go to a doctor with a problem, you say that, oh my God, I have so much pain and I have severe bleeding. The doctor is going to help you with the information that they have been taught and that they know. And that is exactly what all the gynecologists and all the laparoscopic surgeons were doing for me. They were trying to help me only. But it's just with the knowledge that they have. Yes, now I would hope that, somewhere looking at some of the success stories of women who have healed themselves naturally, at least what doctors can do is give an option to the patient, like just make them aware that such an option exists, which is to heal yourself naturally. And just tell them that, in case you don't want to get a surgery or don't want any of those things that they are recommending, there is a natural route as well. And then it is your choice to make whether you want to go down that path or not. And again, anything that you feel inside your body, you know your body better than anyone else. So don't let any of the doctors discount what you're feeling. You want to be believed, right? And you should be believed by all the doctors. If you are saying that you have certain symptoms, then you do have those symptoms. With endometriosis, everything is different for every individual, and perhaps that's the reason why there is no cure, right? I was recommended surgeries, some medicines, hormonal therapies, something called Luprons, something called Mirena coils, all of that, everything except the natural route was recommended to me. So yes, you do know more than your doctors. You do know your body better, you know yourself better, you know your symptoms better, and you know what choices you want to make for yourself. Another very important part is find yourselves a team of doctors who believe in the natural way. They do exist. Understand that by doing one thing, it won't be enough. You will have to do a combination of things to make all of this work. It's a complete lifestyle change and switch, and it will need everything from you, your entire willpower, to be on this journey. If you are a woman who has endometriosis, trust me, you are already very, very strong. And know that you're about to go on one hell of a journey. So strap on and ride along. And last but not the least, and something very important, is that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm none of it. I'm just someone like you who has endometriosis. Oh, and I also have cysts and fibroids. And I'm just trying to heal myself naturally. And my pain has reduced by 80%. And how my pain has reduced is exactly what I'm here to share with you. So let's begin. Now the first thing is diet. Now that is so obvious, right? Because diet is one of the most important things for any health concerns. And similarly, even for endometriosis, your diet plays a very, very crucial role. Now prepare yourselves for this. Currently, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, soy-free, caffeine-free, and alcohol-free. And I recommend that you go online and search how each of these things contribute to your endometriosis. Now, when I had started my gluten-free journey, I made a mistake initially, which I would love for you to completely avoid. I started buying things like gluten-free bread, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free biscuits, things like that. But those things are actually very healthy. So it's not only important what you take out of your body or what you remove from your diet. It is also very important to understand what to add in and what to put in your diet. So there are certain foods that are really beneficial for your endometriosis. For example, green leafy vegetables, which I used to hate, fruits, nuts, seeds, and then there are some superfoods like cacao powder, cocoa nibs, berries, all anti-inflammatory foods. You should search up anti-inflammatory foods for this. so many of these things are so beneficial for your health. Yes, but with food, what I did do is go organic. So all chicken, like the meats that I ordered, are from a place that do organic poultry and meat. And I also order all my not all my vegetables, but a lot of my vegetables are organic. Like even our lentils and flowers are completely organic. And absolutely no processed foods or drinks, sugars, none of that. Now, diet is a very vast area and I can't get into too many details right now because otherwise this video will go to another level lengthwise. So I'm just like briefly discussing all the points with you so that you can start, and if you have any questions you can comment on the video and I will definitely try getting back to you. Second thing is acupuncture. Now I started taking acupuncture sessions in Jan 2020, but again the pandemic happened and I couldn't go for my sessions. So then I restarted my sessions towards the end of 2020 and now I'm still taking acupuncture sessions. Now acupuncture is said to help with pain management, your detox, and the doctor says that it will also aid in the removal of all like endometriosis, my cysts and fibroids. But I'm not sure how to determine the results of acupuncture. I mean, my pain is 80% better, but how much of it is contributed by acupuncture, I don't know, and I don't think I would ever know. But just remember, if you are going for acupuncture sessions and your doctor tells you that, oh, I can like cure you and heal you completely just with acupuncture, that won't happen. So even if your acupuncture doctor puts needles all over your body and says that he will heal you completely just with acupuncture, that's not going to happen. And that's something that I really appreciate about my own acupuncture doctor, because he never made any such claims. In fact, he himself suggested that diet, supplementation, all of it is super important. Third is exercise. Now, exercise plays a very, very important role in my healing. Now, couple of years back, I used to do very extensive training. I used to go to the gym and I used to do cardio, I used to do strength, weight training, functional training, which was always my favorite. And I used to absolutely dislike yoga. I mean, unless it was power yoga, then I used to enjoy it. But if it was yoga, I never used to like it. But now that has completely changed, because I was asked to slow down. I was asked to slow down my entire lifestyle. And yoga has helped me a lot. Yoga helps me to calm down, to relax my mind, to relax my entire body. And it took me so many years to understand the benefits of something like yoga. So end of 2020, I have been doing yoga every single day according to my period cycle. So all those strenuous exercises that I was doing apparently has a direct effect on your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And my cortisol was, trust me, off the roof when I initially got tested. And now it's fine. And even if you can't step out for yoga classes because COVID is still pretty much there in our lives, what you can do is just search online. So you can search yoga for fibroids, yoga for endometriosis, yoga for cysts, yoga for adhesions, yoga for period pain relief, and you will find tons and tons of videos. And just start exercising yourself. Get yourself that yoga mat and just start doing it at home. The next most important thing is meditation, visualization, affirmations, and gratitude. Mindset is the new sexy, they say, and it's true. Mindset is everything. A big part of my healing has to do with meditation. I do deep breathing exercises every single day. You have to visualize that you yourself are getting better, the fibroids, cysts, and endometriosis, everything unhealthy, everything toxic is leaving your body. You have to give positive affirmations to yourself that help you believe that you're going to get out of it. You have to believe it. Only when you believe it, you will come out of it. All this is very important. You can even start writing down your visualizations. You want to say that you see yourself as healthy, moving around, traveling, doing whatever you feel like, away from endometriosis and away from any of this medical condition. Start picturing yourself like that and start visualizing yourself like that, and a lot of things will start changing. I started visualizing myself traveling pain-free, and I did reach there. In fact, I have spoken about it even on my Instagram. I did share a video when I had gone with my sister to Goa. It was not easy. I'm not saying everything was smooth. I mean, obviously, because I still have 2 days of heavy bleeding. So from 4 days of heavy bleeding, I have actually come down to 2 days of very heavy bleeding. But that's still 50% improvement, right? And my pain levels have almost all gone. What did happen in Goa was that, yes, because of the heavy bleeding, also because I have fibroids, because of the heavy bleeding, I did end up staining myself. You know, the heavy bleeding is still quite stressful for me. But still, I'm just saying that in just a couple of months, I mean, just, I think 4-5 months, my pain levels have drastically changed. And if you have seen my other videos where I'm crying and howling, one of them again I have shared on Instagram, to which so many of you responded to, and that is exactly why I actually ended up making this video, because I realized that so many of you women are suffering out there. So I decided that let me share whatever little success that I've had in my journey, and if I can help you in any way, I would love it. Anyway, the power of your mind is everything. I meditate every day now. Now, another thing that I would like to recommend here is a book. Now, I have never been a reader and I'm still not, but this book is super helpful. It is called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Please do buy it and read it. It will really change the way you think. Now, the next important part is supplements. Supplementation can really help aid healing of endometriosis. There are certain supplements which are supposed to be really beneficial for women with endometriosis. Now, as much as possible, I try using brands that are vegan, gluten-free, and are from natural sources. But every time that's not possible as well, right? Now, I keep posting about the brands that I use, at least in India, on my page called Undo Endo Naturally on Instagram. If you like, you can check that out. Now, supplements like Serapeptase, I'm not sure if that's the correct way to pronounce it, NAC, are supposed to be super beneficial for women with endometriosis. Even supplements like vitamin D, vitamin B levels like B12, B6, zinc, omega-3, vitamin C are super important for women with endometriosis. You also might like to look at curcumin, which will help with your inflammation, and also magnesium that will help to relax your muscle and your nerves. But please remember, I did not take any supplements without checking with my doctor and getting my blood work done. So all my levels, all my blood work were taken, and then I was prescribed all these supplements. I mean, you do need doctors, right? Because the doctor will also tell you, like I was low on iron, so I was told to have iron supplements with vitamin C, for example, because vitamin C helps in better absorption of iron. Please do not take supplements on your own. And by the way, even if you have got a surgery done for endometriosis, you can still go down this route to prevent further surgeries, right? Now, the next thing that I did was physiotherapy. Now, again, I had started my physiotherapy sessions in the beginning of 2020, but same story, lockdown, no physiotherapy sessions happening. I resumed them now in 2021 or end of 2020, I think. And I had heard about something called myofascia massages. Again, this was told to me by a woman who already had endometriosis and who has, dealt with endometriosis naturally. So she guided me and she told me about something called myofascia release and massages for adhesions, which again most women with endometriosis have. Especially women who have got a surgery done for endometriosis have higher chances of having adhesions. So I got this myofascia release done from a physiotherapist and it really helped in my pain levels. And what these massages do is they basically help to loosen the muscles out, to relax them, and to loosen the organs out and spread them out. Because with adhesions, everything is sticking inside the body. There's so much we can't see, right? Everything is going on inside. So it needs to be opened out, and that's what these massages help to do. You can also alternatively do massages, do self massages. So I also do that, by the way. So the days I can't go for my physiotherapy sessions, I do self massages at home. You can search this on Google, see some YouTube videos on how to massage yourselves. You can use some essential oils, but please again check which essential oils are okay to use for someone with endometriosis, because you don't want to use an essential oil which is high in estrogen, right? So just be mindful of that. And you can start massaging at home. Another thing I had to do was to consult a chiropractor. Now this was because it was discovered that my pelvic is tilted and is not in position, and that can also create a lot of problems. So luckily for me, where I go for my physiotherapy, I found a chiropractor there itself, and last 2 months I was taking therapy sessions for my pelvic positioning. Now apparently everything is fine. They have given me some exercises to do, which I have to do thrice a week. So as long as I'm doing those exercises, they hope that my pelvic would be in the correct position and the positioning would not move. So I have to continue with those exercises, and I'm still continuing with my therapy sessions, except that earlier I was going twice a week. Now I have to go twice a month. And they keep increasing the difficulty levels of the exercises, like as and when they feel that I'm ready for the next level. So in terms of my exercise routine, I do a mix of yoga, walking, and the exercises that have been recommended to me by my physiotherapist. But remember, initially I used to do only yoga every single day as per my period cycle. It's only gradually that I have been told to build my muscle and concentrate on my muscle mass, and that's what I'm focusing now on. So it has to be a gradual progression. And just to share with you, I did try doing jumping jacks and high knees in the middle, and I remember the next day I was in such crazy pain. So please do not try that. I used to do all of this earlier, but now it was just not suiting my body. Now the next change that I've made is that I've moved to herbal teas, caffeine-free herbal teas. So after my lunch, I have something called dandelion root tea. This helps with the detox. And post dinner, I have something called a chamomile tea, which helps in relaxing the body. And I know a lot of people had claimed that chamomile, makes you sleepy and puts you down to sleep and is a very big relaxant. So I did not see its effect initially, but then continuously having it for a month, I think after a month I started seeing the real results, because my sleep pattern automatically changed. So I always used to be sleeping at very late hours, which was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But now my sleep pattern has moved to sleeping at 12 a.m., which is a very, very big change for me, considering all my life I've never been a morning person. I've always been a night person. So I think this is the best I can do, but it works. Now another very important but a very disheartening thing to do is to do a cleanse of your household cleaning products and your beauty products. So sometimes all the household products and our beauty products, they have so many chemicals, toxins and metals in them. And such toxins, they actually go into our body because our skin is one of the biggest organs of our body, and a lot of it gets absorbed through our skin. And then all these toxins actually inhibit the absorption of all the good things that are going in our body. And that's exactly what we don't want. So in my home, we have changed everything from our household cleaning products. I had to personally give up a lot of my perfumes. There are no perfumes in my room now. Only once in a while when I step out, I actually apply any perfume. I had to change my makeup to all natural and organic products. I still have some of my previous makeup. I'm not saying that I discarded all of it, but I'm meant to do all of it. You are meant to throw all your previous makeup, everything that has chemicals in it, you're meant to give up. And I know it's so disheartening, and also financially, like it's like it's such a shocker, right? But in terms of my hair care, my skin care, I have changed everything. Do you know, every time I go to the salon, I carry my own shampoo and conditioner. I do not use the shampoo and conditioner used at the salon anymore. I carry my own natural organic product. I have stopped applying any nail paints. Apparently nail paints have a lot of chemicals, and especially your nail paint removers, all of it have a lot of toxins in them. So no nail paints for me anymore. For years and years, ever since I was in college, I used to get hair straightening treatments done. Earlier it was the Japanese, then it was keratin, smoothing, you name it. I think every year I would get a treatment done. I've never got my hair colored, but still, you know, and it's all chemicals apparently going in the body through hair, through all those creams that they apply. And you know, if you've got coloring done, or if you've got specially smoothing done, it has such a strong smell. You know, people who actually do all these treatments are wearing masks. I mean, this is pre or post COVID times, whatever, irrespective. And they're wearing those gloves and doing all this because it can actually be harmful to their skin as well. Also, no drinking out of plastic bottles, and no heating food in plastic containers. And that's why I said before I started all these points that this entire thing, just to get this 80 to 90% of improvement in your pain levels, will take everything from you. And this is not to overwhelm you, but it is just to prepare you for what's coming, and you know what all changes you need to make, especially if you're going down the natural route. Since endometriosis is an estrogen dominance disease, I also use something called as progesterone cream. Bioidentical progesterone cream. Bioidentical means identical to what is naturally produced by your body. Please do not go out there and just start buying any progesterone cream, because know that it will be synthetic and not natural. The only place I found in India was at this place called Belsante, which is in Bangalore. If you find another place, please do share with me, and you know, I'm sure I can pass it around to other women as well. But please bear in mind that this is hormonal therapy. Do not do it without the consultation of your doctor. If any of you would like to know the names of any of my doctors, you're more than welcome to ask me and take their details, and you can always give them my reference. Also, one more thing that might really help you is journaling. Now, this is something I am not very good at still, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. So apparently, if you start journaling everything that you eat and how you feel, it will really help you to release your emotions and what you feel at that point of time, which will eventually help in your healing process. You can also journal the food that you eat, just to track down all your symptoms and all your pain levels. Now, I made a lot of changes, and I have noted down with every period. So every month when I have my period, I actually note down how it's improved over the period of time and what I felt during each period, and even when I've added or changed anything in my diet or my supplementation, I definitely put a note of it. But what I am bad at is journaling every day, like on a daily basis. But if you can do that, I'm sure it will really help you. I understand completely that all of this can be super overwhelming because it's suddenly so many changes to make in your life. I went through the same sort of emotions and feelings. But then that is why we are here for each other, right? If you have endometriosis, you know that you're super strong already and you can definitely do this. Also, practice gratitude in your life, because then you will believe and understand that there are people who are in worse situations than what you are. You're still a lot better off, more so than what you realize. You have a beautiful body, be grateful for it. And this brings me to my last and final point, which is help and support. I know all of this can get very overwhelming. It is mentally, physically, emotionally very challenging and financially very draining. Anything and everything that is labeled organic is literally double, triple the price, right? So all the changes that you need to make with endometriosis, all the supplementation, everything that is gluten-free, vegan, everything is so expensive. Plus you need to make changes in your cleaning products, your beauty products, everything adds to it, with all your therapies, with acupuncture, with physiotherapy. All these sessions cost a lot. But understand and know that you are investing in your own health, and it is okay to do that. But what you need is additional help and support from your family members, from your friends. The first thing that you need to do in all of this is communicate with your friends and family. Try getting that additional support, because trust me, you will need it. It's very hard and difficult to do all this by yourself. And sometimes you can even ask a stranger. It's incredible that how social media can actually work in a positive way. There are so many women that I reached out to who I have never met, who don't know me, and yet support me in my journey. You can even go on to my community, Undo Endo Naturally, even though it's a very, very small space right now, but why not connect with each other? You can connect with each other and support each other. Only another woman having endometriosis can understand what you go through. But I would like to add one thing over here. There are a lot of support groups on social media, but please bear in mind that if you're on a natural journey, only be in touch with another person who's on the natural route. If you join a support group which is not very welcoming of the natural route or the natural journey, you will not get help over there. This happened with me once, that I had written something about going the natural way, and I remember that a lot of women did not appreciate it because they said that there's no cure to endo, and that I'm spreading something which is not relevant, or which is not okay to talk about. So just be mindful of that. You want to be connected to women who are open to doing the natural route with you, or try finding someone who has already been on the natural journey and who can help you and perhaps even mentor you. I know it's not easy to find these women, but they do exist. So there are a lot of women across the globe who are running programs on how to heal your endometriosis naturally. Now you can search them online, and whoever you resonate with the most, and financially also you will have to see that what sort of budget suits you. Depending on that, you can actually choose one of these ladies and do a program with them. This might just help you even further, because they will give you exact supplements that you need, what all herbs you can have, and you will also have a support group within the program itself. Now the last thing and the most latest thing, as latest as just yesterday, something that I got done called Oligo Scan. Now, this is super important, and I wish I knew about it before, because this scan tells you all the minerals and metals in your body present. So some of my metal toxicity are very, very high, which means that I have to do a detox even for them. Now, this is the latest development. I understand that this test is quite expensive, but I would really and highly recommend that if you can get it done in your city, please get this test done. I have updated you on everything now, and hopefully some months down the line, I will tell you about my progress further. And that's it for today, guys. I really hope that this video has helped any one of you out there. If you still have any questions, which I'm sure you would, please feel free to comment. This is a non-judgmental, supportive community, and I will definitely try getting back to you with answers. Lots of love.